feel so naughty that we missed we were a day late for our podcast.
I
Do
know.
you? It's like the first time
I know,
ever.
and it's like you feel guilty and you're letting people down, and I'm like, oh my God. But
I also spiraled and thought like maybe people will never just stop listening forever if we miss an episode or a day late. You know, like get over yourself. People have more important things to
we'll
worry
throw
about.
people off, and people will. You know what? When it's a short week. And it's Monday is your Tuesday, and then your Wednesday, you know, like the whole week is just like you're so confused. So it's like maybe people will listen on a Tuesday morning in New Zealand, and then we'll completely throw them off, and then they'll think that's Monday. You know, we don't have that much impact on people's lives. Yeah.
No. I did think that. I was like, we need to get over ourselves. There's no one cares that much about the podcast. But I must say, like, so basically, it's for anyone that's like, what are you even talking about? So this is being released a day late. So normally our podcast for the Curve Weekly goes out every Monday morning at like 6 a.m. But there's been a long weekend here in the UK, which they call bank holiday, which I just don't understand. Like, what does bank even mean?
Bankers?
Bank holiday.
Like the bankers get a holiday? I don't know.
Oh my
I know
God.
in Australia there's bank holiday, and it's for anyone who works in financial services and banking.
Holy shit, it must be because we're in the financial capital of the world. Maybe that's what it is.
If anyone knows, let us know.
Yeah.
So have you booked any holidays this year? Like summer holidays?
Oh my God, I just did.
Nice.
So basically, bless my goddamn father's heart. Absolutely love him. But I mentioned to him that Vic hadn't done Sal Croatia. Like, you know how lots of people do a boat around. And it's honestly, most people do it in their early 20s, get like matching outfits and just get drunk for 7 days. Anyway,
quite fun.
Vic and I both haven't done this, but my dad's doing a big old European trip, which I'm actually so excited for him for. You know, he's in his golden years and he's really like planning his holidays. I'm stoked for him. Anyway, one of the things he suggested was hiring a boat and doing a little, you know, ticky to around for a week. And I was like, oh, Vic's not done that. So Dad started including Vic in all the family comms, being like, hi team, this is what I'm looking at hiring for a boat. Is everyone in? These are the dates. I was like, oh my God, Dad, fuck. Like Vic definitely hasn't confirmed that she's interested in spending her holiday with my family.
It was funny because all Sophia done was like a little side comment one day. She was like, hey Vic, have you ever done South Croatia? Would you be keen to hire a boat? And I was like, yeah. Next minute I wake up to like 3 different options from Mike Hallwright. Like, hey, it's going to be us and the family. You know, Flower Man is welcome to come.
Good.
And I was like, oh wow, I'm really.
It was going to be a couples retreat with my parents, Fanboy, Flower Man. I was like, oh, this is not happening. Anyway, it's been confirmed this morning. You're not invited anymore. You've been removed from all comms. But I'm really excited. I'm doing a week in Croatia on a boat. How fucking fun is that?
It will be incredible.
Why? But why was the question? Is there like something to do with the markets that we'll bring up, or did you just want to embarrass me that my dad was inviting you on family holidays?
Bit of both. There is a rationale to my question. Yeah. So. But we got there eventually. That wasn't kind of the long-winded answer I was expecting. Apologies, people.
It's just been confirmed. I was a bit excited. I shouldn't have gone into so much detail.
No.
My bad.
No, Airbnb. So there's been some recent developments in Airbnb. So the thing with Airbnb is like they've just got to keep innovating because they've got to keep growing their revenue. You've got to think of new ways. Like they've got 8 million listings worldwide.
Shit, that's a lot.
And that is a lot of listings, and you've just got to keep innovating. And they've launched this thing, which is quite cool. They've introduced icons, which is like extraordinary experiences from the world's greatest icons. And so, you know, the movie Up, where there's like the house with the balloons.
No, I've not seen it, but I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah. So you can have an experience like that. So in a house, it's a house hanging off a crane with balloons, quite wild. And you can have like a living room experience with Doja Cat. You can stay in Prince's house. Like there's all these things that they're trying to do.
How expensive would that be though? And why on earth would Doja Cat want someone in her living room?
I don't know. They'll probably pay. It's probably a marketing thing. You know, they'll probably pay you quite a lot. But it is a great marketing ploy from Airbnb. And like these people would go and do these experiences and take photos and then talk about it. And like it's very headline grabby. But yeah, I don't know. The investors are like, is it enough? I'm not sure. But I guess the point is that their bookings haven't grown. So their bookings were only up about 12% last year, and they were up 20% the year before. So there is slowing growth. So the company's trying to innovate and come up with new ideas of like, okay, how do we get more people to engage with the platform? We've also, and I think we've spoken about this before, around how New York has like banned Airbnb, and there's a lot of other cities that are like,
thing?
Yeah.
Really? Gosh.
And like, I know like in Amsterdam, for example, you can only have a maximum of 30 days where you can rent out your house through Airbnb. Like there's all these kind of restrictions coming in place because people
Amsterdam are annoying about accommodation, just as a side note. Like it's really hard to find house. Like I don't think you can even rent rooms out there. Like,
but I can see why. You get all these people that
anyway, sorry, that's slightly irrelevant.
But no, Airbnb has actually done really well in the last 12 months. So its share price is up over 30%, and the market, so like that's the top 500 companies in the US, it's only up 20%. So it is doing really well, and investors are kind of like, you know what, this could be a new thing. But this is a really great example of, you know, a company that's done really, really well and has almost got to a point of like saturation or like huge market share that you have to sit there and go, okay, do you think that they can continue to grow and continue to innovate and create new things and introduce new experiences on the platform to continue growing at such a large rate? If you do, then you'd probably become a shareholder. If you don't, you wouldn't. So it's kind of thinking about, big businesses like this, it does take a lot to continue to grow at such an impressive rate.
Is the point that you're making, Hivik, is that they're probably becoming more of a steady grower than a growth company where you'll make quite high returns. So it's not to say that it's not going to return a steady amount. It's or that it's going to be going down the toilet. It's just in terms of looking at where you could get them, like maximize your returns. Has it hit its growth ceiling? Is kind of more the question that you're meaning, right?
Yes, and you've got all these things on one side that are like, okay, we're limiting, you know, cities that are limiting residents' ability to rent out their house. On the flip side, you've got all these new experiences they're bringing on, and you're kind of thinking, okay, which one's going to win? Is it going to be the revenue, I guess, suppressing stuff, or is the CEO and the management team going to be able to constantly look for these new revenue opportunities and continue to grow the business? And so that's kind of what you got to think of with any investment, really, because there'll always be, when you get to a certain size, you know, there'll always be things that will start impacting the revenue, for example.
It's interesting because like from a competition standpoint, I don't feel like Airbnb has much enormous competition. What I would say will probably change the landscape of people booking holidays differently will be AI, right? Like, hey, I want to take my 4 kids to blah, 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 blah. So maybe would it be looking at to see what their plans are with regards to integrating AI into the platform? And if,
definitely,
you know, like if that's part of their growth plan, then maybe there is maybe there is more growth for them in the future. But if not, like, you know, places like booking.com are doing that already. So
it's, that's 100%. But the thing with Airbnb is I think what they've done is become a really great, when you become a verb, you know, like you should Airbnb your house. And it's like you might
Uber.
not use.
It's like getting an Uber, not a taxi.
You might not use Airbnb. You might use another platform. But like the whole description of Airbnb means like short-term rental. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like you might, let's get an Uber, but you might actually use a different platform. But it's become so synopsis with, So that's kind of, Airbnb so far in the last 12 months has actually done really well. But the question is, can it continue to do well? Another company that's done really well is Snapchat. So Snapchat shares, oh my God, wow, that's a mouthful. Snapchat shares were up 30% last week. That's in a week, which is amazing. And that was all due to
someone sending nudes.
Close.
Actually,
I mean, your nudes would probably send the share price up 30%. Mine wouldn't. But
Thanks, Wiki. Are they that good? Love that for me.
oh God, what is it? No publicity is bad publicity.
I don't
babe,
know. I
you
was thinking about that. Imagine if someone leaked your nudes. That would be, I reckon that's more reflective of the person who did it than the person
Totally.
sending nudes. Like, I think 10 years ago it would have been like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing you sent nudes. Whereas now it would be like, damn it.
So I
Oopsies.
was like, oh gosh, already failed.
I know. Have you not sent a nude with your face on it?
No,
Never.
never.
Oh my God, shit. Well, what about when you were doing long distance from London to Auckland?
Nah. God, I'm such a prude.
So you didn't send any. It's not that you didn't send some, but you just cut your head off. You just didn't send any.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Okay. So it's not as though you've done a clever thing and like chopped your head out. You just didn't do it at all.
Nah.
Fuck, now I'm panicking. How do I remove
Oh
from
God,
cloud?
she's scrolling. Anyway,
Does anyone know how to hack a computer? Someone's get in touch with any hot skills.
oh my gosh, yeah. Anyway,
Hold
yeah,
on.
Snapchat.
What I will say quickly before we move on, I have only done it to one person. So if they were ever leaked, I could totally name and shame. So that's probably like fine, right? Does that give me leverage?
Yeah, I just think that will be. People won't be focusing on who sent it; they'll be focusing on the picture.
It's a video. It's not even a photo.
Oh, it's a video. Do you look good though?
I must have thought so at
That's
the
not
time.
the point. Sorry, that's not the point.
True. It'll be
No,
good advertising.
You need ownership. Yeah. Gosh.
Okay, sorry. Back to Snapchat.
Yeah. Anyway, Snapchat. So their revenue was up 20% last year. They've had an increase of 40 million users, and 90% of that came from outside the US and Canada. So they're seeing huge growth in India, and that's because India has such a large population of Gen Zs in terms
Really?
of the whole world. Yeah. So that's Snapchat's primary market now is
It's
India.
How cool.
Yeah, which is quite amazing. And that market's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, yeah, it's just quite interesting. Here we are sitting, I am, and I'm being like, oh God, who uses Snapchat anymore? But just because it's not in my immediate, visibility, it's like, doesn't mean that there aren't millions, literally 200 million people in India every year using this app. Like,
Is
it's
that
crazy.
But like, has it only just surfaced there? Like, why? I just want to understand why it's been such a late adopter in terms of, like, I don't know. I'm just like, I want to understand why, or because how are you meant to? No, I know you're not meant to predict stuff like that, but if you're looking from an investing lens and you want to be able to see opportunities like that, how?
Yeah,
can
well,
you
they
research
focused.
it,
They focused on the US, and then they grew in the US with millennials and Gen Zs there, and then it kind of peaked, and they were like, okay, cool, where else should we focus our attention on? They're like, okay, great, India has a huge young population, let's focus there. So now this is kind of what's propelling the next leg of growth is the Indian market and all these markets outside of the US. So yeah, it's just, I mean, this is a difficult thing with investing. It's like, if they made that decision, it didn't actually resonate, that could have been complete opposite reaction in terms of a share price. So it is hard to know, but yeah, the fact that it's still got traction, and I mean, it's just lacked, like the offering I feel like is just lacked versus TikTok and Instagram, and it's actually lost money. Snapchat has lost money every quarter since it's been public, pretty much. So it hasn't been, a fantastic business. But do you remember back in 2018? And
Oh my God, hold on, wait. I just need to remember what I was even doing. Yes, I do. I think I was in Sydney.
And Kylie Jenner put out, she was like the biggest user of Snapchat.
That's right. And this is where like the BTS of Instagram and online came from, right? Because all of a sudden we could see celebrities behind the sines of their life. That was actually huge in terms of that was never possible before. That's why magazines and all that, like Hot Gossip tab was like all so big, because it was your only way to really track their personal life.
She used to use Snapchat heaps, and then in 2018 she was like, so she did this tweet and she was like, so does anyone else not open Snapchat anymore? And it wiped 1.3, just that one tweet wiped $1.3 billion off the Snapchat market cap.
Holy shit.
Her saying that. And then she came out super quickly after that and was like, still love you though, Snap, my first love. Like, honestly, imagine.
Gosh, like Kylie Jenner actually propping up the American economy with her Snapchat usage.
Yeah, I know, crazy.
Yeah,
anyway. Snapchat doing really well outside of the US and Canada.
So surprising to me, but cool for them.
Yeah. And then Apple. So they announced last week the biggest stock buyback ever at $110 billion.
I'm not invested currently. I wish I was.
Oh, I love Apple. It's probably my second love versus Microsoft, I reckon.
You're really like going heavy on the tech front though, you know? You don't want to diversify into different areas?
No, I like the big, steady growers, you know? The elephants that just plod along. Whereas I think you're more like, you like the hyenas
the cheetah?
that just like...
Yeah, I want to chase the cheetah through the jungle,
Yeah. I got asked the other day by Flower Man what jungle animal I would be.
Oh, what would you be?
I said giraffe.
But you're not even tall.
No, I know, but like...
I'm so confused. You're also not blonde.
No, but...
They're yellow.
I think... I feel like they're just like friends with everyone in the jungle, you know?
Oh my God, that is hilarious. She's like, I'm Miss Popular, so I'm a giraffe.
No.
Are they even friends with everyone?
I don't know, but they just kind of like... just are so graceful with their big long necks, like looking at everyone. I don't know.
They're just friends with everyone. They're so graceful. You know, I just see myself in them. Go, Vic. I love that you're talking yourself up here. I, on the other hand, have been told that this is from Fanboy. He was like, you're kind of like a meerkat. And I thought,
oh my God, you are.
God, that's like the most unattractive, annoying animal ever. How are you into me?
No. Oh my gosh, no.
They like pop up everywhere. It's like, go away. Aren't they the ones
Isn't that like
bob down?
Timon and Pumbaa? Isn't one of them a meerkat?
Oh, maybe. No. Yes, maybe.
They're cute.
Okay,
they're
cool.
Cute. They're like excited. They like pop up, see the world, then like go back down to go to sleep.
Okay, cool.
You know?
Great.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that came from. Like, what were we talking about?
How did we get there?
Apple?
Oh, yeah. And I like to invest in the elephants that just plod along.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah. Wow. Gosh. Yes, Apple. So they announced the largest stock buyback ever at $110 billion last week. Now, for those who don't know, a stock buyback is when the company buys its own shares. So you've got imagine this huge investor who is like, you know what, I think Apple's going to do really well in the future. I want to buy heaps of their stock. But that is the company itself. So they are wanting to invest in their own company by owning as many shares as possible. And that's exactly what Apple did last week. And just to put this in perspective, because $110 billion is like, it's a shitload of money.
How many shares is that?
That's 2 Spotifys. So 2 times the size of Spotify.
Holy.
Like that's, quite amazing. Anyway.
Honestly, if I was Android, I'd be giving up at this point. Like, why would you bother?
Totally.
Fanboy's getting a lot of airtime today, but he has an Android and I just don't get it.
No.
Like, why on earth can't I airdrop you? It's so stupid.
Does he have like a keyboard?
Nah,
BlackBerry?
it's just an Android phone. It's like it's
Samsung.
so honest. Yeah, I think so. Samsung? Yeah. I just find
red flag.
It is a bit red flag, isn't it? Also, I think but I just think as a company, like if that's how massive Apple is.
Yeah.
Why would you bother?
Yeah, I know.
It's so huge and successful. I just don't get it.
It's insane. Yeah, they've done nearly $700 billion of share buybacks in the last 10 years. Like that is a huge number in itself. They made nearly $100 billion in revenue in the last 3 months.
What?
So, yeah.
$100 billion.
$100 billion in revenue in just 3 months of the year.
The actual hell. That is so much money.
And a lot of it, well, not a lot of it, but they recorded their highest ever revenue for their services division, which is their Apple subscriptions. And I must admit, I got a notification the other day being like, hey, you've reached your storage cap, buy some more for like an extra £1 a month or something. And I was like, no brainer. Yep, click. I was like, if you get $100 million people or even 1 million people doing that, like that is just straight to the bottom line. That is straight to profit for Apple, you know? Like
I hate to think how much, I'm pretty sure my storage is pretty massive actually.
yeah. And the amount of money that I reckon I've spent at Apple over my life, I'd love to know.
Oh
like
my God.
the number of phones I've bought, the number of laptops. Gosh, AirPods, don't even get me started on the number of AirPods I bought.
Should I say what happened last week? Oh my God. I was at the tube and I fell down some
I
stairs.
thought you were meaning me. God, look at us. We've had a really
What happened to you last week?
Oh no, not nearly as bad as you. Sorry, just.
You dropped an AirPod down a stranger's balcony and left notes in the letterboxes saying, I need it back, and no one got back to you. That was shit.
No, they did. They did. In the weekend.
Oh.
I got a text from a random and they're like, hi, I got your AirPod. I was like, cool, it's been in the rain for like 2 weeks, but thank you.
You never know. If it survives,
I know.
that's a really big tick for Apple. I fell over at the tube station and smashed my phone and my laptop in one go. Like tripped down a step and like hurt my knees, and I was just like
I felt so bad as well. My first text to Soph was like,
you were laughing at me,
how's
weren't you?
laughing? I was like, how's the ego? And then I was like, she's like, no, actually. I was like, oh, fuck, sorry, babe.
It was just so embarrassing. I was like sitting on the ground and everyone was like, oh my God. I was like, jog on everyone, I'm fine. I was like sitting on the ground, couldn't move. It was just like, I've actually now since bought a absolutely Sophie breakable laptop case that has like foam in it. I literally got served an ad with someone pouring water and dropping their laptop on the ground, and I thought, perfect.
That's me.
I'll be investing in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but same. The amount of money I would have spent on Apple products in my life is probably an entire year's salary. Disgusting, actually.
Gosh, disgusting. But we can't function without it, which is a great position to be in from a company perspective. But did you know that 40% of people that own AirPods have lost them at least once?
Oh,
that's like nearly half. Like
what percentage have lost them 5 times?
Just
Sophie Hora.
0.00001. Just you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But I was actually thinking when I lost my AirPods, I was like, you know what? I could go back to string. I could go back to string headphones.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, actually, no, niggly as fuck. Anyway, lastly, there is a potato shortage in England, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
so
God, what am I going to do, Vic?
Yeah, so
no
no longer
fries.
will potatoes be cheap as chips. They will be expensive. Fries, potato chips, they're all going up in price because potatoes, the price of potatoes has gone up 80% since last year, and it's all to do with bad weather, which is making it harder for farmers to get the crops and sell them. Yeah. So it's been consecutive years of bad weather, which has impacted the price of potatoes.
Potatoes. Maybe I'll start a potato farm in my backyard. I've got a bit of grass here. I'm like looking outside. Like maybe I could start a potato initiative.
It's raining already. So, that's completely
science,
reinforces my... No, that's bad for potatoes.
But won't they make them grow? Doesn't it need water?
Yeah, but like in balance, in moderation.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, they're calling this because there's actually been a lot of crops that have been impacted by too hot weather, which means they can't grow, or too wet, or too cold, too extreme. And they're calling it heatflation and sogflation. Quite funny.
Quite good.
Yeah. Like instead of just like inflation or disinflation or whatever.
I love that you think
like,
you need to explain that. We got it, babe.
Oh, okay, so. But also climate change, everyone.
No, it's such a wake-up call, isn't it? Like if potatoes are getting more expensive because the weather is not enabling them to grow properly. Like, hello, what are we doing about this? Like it's quite
also
stressful.
like how many crops do we need to have be impacted by extreme weather to realise, oh shit, we are actually harming the planet. Like honestly.
God, I know.
Yeah.
Like at this point, surely there's no one still on the fence.
Oh, you'd be surprised, babe.
Oh no. When we had that massive storm in Auckland, like in New Zealand a couple of years ago in summer, and there was all that flooding, and people were like, no, this happens every 100 years. It's like, are you kidding? Like there's nothing more obvious than in the very middle of summer, it basically being a complete tornado for 4 weeks, whatever it was. Like, how much more proof do people need?
Yeah.
Do you have any positive news to end this combo? Because I'm feeling a bit fired up.
No.
So potatoes are expensive.
Potatoes are expensive.
What were my other shit things? Oh, I'm a meerkat.
You're 0.00005% of people that have lost their AirPods 5 times.
God, what a shit week
You've
to
got
be
nudes out there with your face on them.
Oh, God.
And you're going to be stuck on a boat with your family.
Excuse me. That'll be fun. That will be fun. That's
No,
a
I know,
highlight.
sorry. That is.
Total
I think
highlight.
that'll actually be really special.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned that, like, you know, it's really taking things from 0 to 100 for poor old fanboy. Poor old fanboy.
Well, you've got till September.
True.
You know?
But it's like a very welcome to the family intense. It's not like come for dinner a few Tuesdays a month. It's like.
Well, he's met your mum already, so.
I know, cute. All right. Sorry, this has been so heavy on my boyfriend chat. Obviously, I need to broaden my extracurricular activities. Stop sending so many nudes.
Yeah. And if anyone does have a nude out there of Sophie Horright,
no, I don't think I've honestly sent any others. I think I might have sent one boob photo in my life.
Ooh, nice.
Anyway, let's just end this chat now because I'm embarrassed and feeling a bit scared.
Okay, bye. We'll be back next Monday.
Oh, yes, we will be regular programming next week.